So why young black men, right? I mean, when we talk about implicit bias, what is the relationship between what's happening in our perceptions in our brains and what young black men are experiencing? When we hook up people to MRIs and heart rate monitors and respiratory monitors and we flash images of young black men in front of them, you literally can chart the anxiety growing in their brains. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala that registers fear and anxiety, and it literally grows when you flash images of young black men in front of them. Your heart rate starts to increase, your respiratory rate starts to increase, and all those are indicators of an anxiety that we have become primed to believe whenever we see young black men. We've seen studies where you have, what's the Craigslist, right? And you have a black hand and a white hand, both holding the same position in iPod. The white iPod for the same price, the same neighborhood, gets chosen for purchase like 70% times more. Yeah, is that crazy? When we look at what happens to young boys between 3rd and 4th grade, right? There was a study that I believe came out of Harvard called the 4th grade menace. And researchers were trying to understand why young black boys were dropping off precipitously between 3rd and 4th grade. And when they controlled for all of these other factors, they realized that between kindergarten to 3rd grade, essentially, the teachers thought all the kids were equally cute. And then when they hit 9, they started to project their fears of older black men onto the 9-year-old boy. Right? I mean, this little 9-year-old boy, he hits puberty, and all of a sudden the teacher is now afraid of him. So instead of looking at his classroom and saying, you know, I have a room full of potentially Barack Obamas, I have a room full of potential predators. So think about that. We have our brains are priming us that young black men are predators, literally in a physiological experience. We have these young boys who begin to be treated like criminals, essentially, in our eyes, mind, in 4th grade. And in some states, we are predicting how many prison beds we are going to need based on 3rd and 4th reading scores. So we go from an experience of our brain literally registering anxiety just at the sight of a young black man to already creating a prison bed for him. Perception.org is a vehicle to start a conversation around young black men and boys. You know, we often say that perception is reality. And if we are not challenging visual culture to create the right perceptions for people and the right representation, then we are actually affecting the reality for many young men and boys in this country of color.